Hello everyone. Well, in this tutorial I will talk about VoIP network. I use Hacking VoIP book, which was written by the author Himanshu Dwivedi. And for more information about the author, you can check these two listed links. Yeah. Okay, you can from these two listed links you can know about the author biography. So, hacking VoIP. Okay, in this tutorial you suppose to have some basic knowledge about network protocols, services, servers, and cryptography. Okay, cryptography, it's just some basic knowledge about how to crypt and decrypt, about the digest authentication, MD5, the hash, CHA, secure hashing algorithm 0 and 1, and so on. And a lot of curiosity, because you have to have interest, because with interest we can memorize and we can learn more. So be curious. I made this tutorial for the lesson of NFA 083, réseau et administrateur web. So the project is about VoIP basics, attacks, and security and countermeasure. In this project I will focus on the basics of VoIP network, security aspects, and vulnerabilities. So imagine how happy your boss, your employee, your son or daughter, your mother or father, organized crime individuals, your cubicle mate, your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, the speech person in the conference room on the second floor may feel when they learn how easy it is to listen to your most sensitive phone calls, the ones including ones where you have to provide your social security or credit card number to the other party. For those of us who do not like the National Security Agency listening on to our phone call, the problems of privacy and security have just gotten worse. So the primary purpose of this project is to explain VoIP basics and security from hacking perspective. So VoIP is a new technology. As you can see, it's writing in here. So to give brief introduction, I would like to say, security concerns aside, VoIP is an exciting new technology that allows users to place telephone calls over the internet rather than traditional phone lines. Voice communication uses internet protocol IP networking. While the geek factor of using VoIP is certainly appealing, cost has been a major driver for more VoIP deployments. For example, organizations can save thousands of euros per year by switching to VoIP. Saving money by using the internet in this manner has been a popular trend in the past 2 decades. However, so has the exploitation of the related security problems. VoIP relies on protocol trees that have plagued network administrators for years. The use of the clear text protocol, the lack of proper authentication, and the complexity of deploying strong end-to-end security are just a few examples of why VoIP networks are susceptible to attacks. So the goal of this project is to raise awareness, describe potential attacks, and offer solutions for VoIP security risk and exposure. A question to ask: why VoIP? So the following list summarizes why VoIP security is important. Similar to any newer technology and its security-related aspects, a long list of arguments often appears on why security is not needed. The following is a non-exhaustive list of why security is important to VoIP. So we'll start with implicit assumption of privacy. Most users believe that their phone calls are relatively private, at least from the users surrounding them, but perhaps not from the NSA. If you have ever ducked into a conference room to make a personal or otherwise sensitive phone call, you expect to have VoIP privacy, don't you? Second is the use of voicemail passwords. If VoIP security does not matter, then users have no need to password protect their voicemail access. Listening to a voicemail system using insecure VoIP phone allows any person on the local segment to listen as well. Now we need to know how does VoIP works. So, how does VoIP work? It uses IP technology in a manner similar to how your computer uses TCP/IP to transfer packets with data. VoIP transmits packets with audio instead of data protocols such as HTTP, HTTPS, POP3, IMAP, and SMTP used in the transfer of data packets. VoIP packets use voice protocols such as SIP, Session Initiation Protocol, H.323, IX, Inner Asterisk Exchange Protocol, and RTP, Real-Time Transfer Protocol. Real-Time Transfer Protocol. So the header in the TCP/IP, the header in the TCP/IP packet for data will be the same as for VoIP, including Ethernet frame, source IP address, destination IP address, MAC information, and sequence numbers. In this the figure 1.1 shows an example of how VoIP integrates with the OSI model open system interconnection, where items in bold are common VoIP protocols. So the primary protocol used with VoIP are SIP and H.323 at the session layer, which is used to set up a phone call, and RTP at the media layer, as shown in in figure 1.1. Wait, I will turn. Yep, here. So here we can see that the primary protocol used with VoIP are SIP and H.323 at the session layer, as we can see, which is used to set up a phone call, and RTP at the media layer, which handles the media portion of the call. Hence, SIP and H.323 establish a call connection and hand it off to RTP, which sends the media for the call. IX is the one protocol that does both session setup and media transfer in the same time. So the setup portion of the call for a VoIP call usually takes place with a few supporting servers such as SIP proxy, SIP registrar, and or H.323 gateways and gatekeeper. Once the session is set up using SIP or H.323, the call is sent to the media protocol, which is RTP. So in figure 1.2 show an example of a VoIP protocol with session and media traffic. So while SIP and H.323 perform similar setup services, they go about them in very different ways. The SIP protocol is designed similar to HTTP, where methods such as register, invite, forward, lookup, and buy are used to set up a call. H.323 uses a collection of sub-protocols such as H.225, H.245, H.450, H.239, and H.460 to perform the session setup. Also, both protocols use supporting servers such as SIP proxies, SIP registers, H.323 gatekeeper, and H.323 gateway between the two endpoints to set up a call. When the call is finally set up, both protocols use RTP protocol for the media layer, which transfers audio between two or more endpoints. IX, Inner Asterisk Exchange, which is not as popular as SIP or H.323, is used between two asterisk servers. Unlike SIP and H.323, IX can be used to set up a call between two endpoints and used for the media channel. IX does not use RTP for media transfer because the support is built into the protocol itself. This makes it attractive to organizations that desire simplicity in their VoIP deployment. So now we'll talk about the deployment. VoIP deployment include a variety of servers, services, and applications that are used with SIP, H.323, IEX, or RTP. Depending on the deployment used, the following types of servers are discussed. So we have the endpoint. It is a generic term used for either a hard phone or a soft phone. We have H.323 gatekeeper, which is registers and it authenticates H.323 endpoints and stores a database of all registered H.323 clients on the network. We have H.323 gateway, routes calls between H.323 gatekeepers and yeah, okay, the gateway, gatekeeper, and now we have the hard drive. Anyway, so we have the hard phone, a physical telephone headset using IP for voice communication. We have IP PBX, or a private branch exchange system that uses IP for voice communication, used to route telephone calls from one entity to another. And we have session border controller helps VoIP network communicate across trust boundaries. SBCs generally provide a path around firewalls, not to work with or through them. We have SIP proxy. Proxies communication between SIP user agents and servers. We have SIP registrar. Registers and authenticates as SIP user agent via the registrar method. It also stores a database of all registered SIP clients on the network. We have soft phone. A soft phone telephone using IP for voice communication. So now we go to the SIP deployments. We can see that it uses SIP registrar and SIP proxies to set up session with the other user agents, and RTP for the communication. And here we have a figure for VoIP deployment with H.323 devices. So it's the same, and it uses SBC to go through firewalls for setting up the session, and always RTP for the communication, for the media layer. Unless, okay, it's not like IEX, which use PBX, private branch exchange, which is used in both session setup and media transfer. So okay, now we have a Spider-Man. Thank you, Spider-Man. Now we will talk about VoIP soft phones. Okay, our software, they are okay, software-based phones running within your computer's operating system, including Windows, Unix, Linux, or macOS, as implied by their software-based nature. Soft phones do not physically exist. A soft phone uses the IP connection on your computer to make audio calls. A good example of VoIP soft phone is the popular application Skype, Yahoo Messenger, Google Talk, and Microsoft Live Messenger are also examples. It should be noted that most smartphone providers also provide a soft phone to be used with their system, because both types of phones are simply using IP for audio connectivity. Additionally, all VoIP equipment, regardless of whether it is a soft phone or hard phone, can call each other, as well as other traditional phone lines, including landlines and mobile phones. SIP hard phone, soft phone are usually referred to as user agent and H.323 hard phones. Okay, usually referred to endpoints. For specific definition, refer to the basic VoIP terminology from the VoIP SA website, www.voipsa.org/activities/VoIPSA/treat taxonomy, and that's for more information. So now we talk about the security basics. Um, now that we have the basics of VoIP covered, let's go over some security basics. No matter what topic is being addressed, from storage to web application security, the main components of security, including authentication, authorization, availability, confidentiality, and integrity protection, will always need to be discussed. So we'll start with first of all is we talk about authentication. The authentication process in most VoIP deployment occurs at the session layer. When an endpoint connects to the network or places a phone call, authentication takes place between the VoIP phone and support servers such as SIP register, H.323 gateways, or IAX asterisk servers. Media protocols such as RTP or the media portion of IAX do not require authentication because it already occurs at the session setup portion of call. While the use of authentication is always a good thing, the use of insecure or poor authentication mechanism is not. Unfortunately, SIP, H.323 and IAX all use weak authentication mechanism, which are discussed later on. The most common default authentication type for each signaling protocol are, first of all, SIP, digest authentication, and H.323, MD5 hash of general ID, and we have IAX, MD5 hash of password and the challenge. Now we'll talk about authorization. Authorization of VoIP can sometimes be used for security purposes. For example, limiting certain VoIP endpoints' ability to dial specific phone number may be desirable. Permitting only certain devices to join the VoIP network also may help protect VoIP networks. It should be noted that authorization values are rarely used in an enterprise VoIP deployments and are easy to bypass. Nonetheless, the following list shows what entities can be used for authorization parameters. So we have the E.164 alias. Each H.323 endpoint contains an E.164. So what is it? The E.164 is an international number system that comprises a country code CC, a national destination code NDC, and a subscriber number SN. An E.164 can have up to 15 alphanumeric values and can be set either dynamically by a gatekeeper device or locally by the endpoint itself. And we have the MAC address. The MAC machine access control addresses are on every Ethernet enabled layer 2 in the OSI model device. These addresses are sometimes used to authorize certain devices on the VoIP network. And we have the URI SIP. Really does not have an authorization value, but the uniform resource identifier URI is a value that each SIP user agent contains. The value can be used to authorize endpoints similar to SIP. IX does not have an authorization value, but the URI can also be used. Availability. VoIP networks need to be up and running most of the time, if not all of the time. Like with other IT managed services such as email, calendaring, or even internet access, users have grown to rely on telephone 100% of the time. Usually users can tolerate hours when the network is down, but they will not be very patient when they hear the telephones cannot be used because of a denial of service attack. Having the ability to make reliable telephone calls is almost a mandate for VoIP. The methods used to ensure the VoIP network remain available are shown in the following list. We have separating data networks and voice networks. So voice networks are often placed on separate network and or VLAN, isolating them from data packets, while the internet is not a series of tubes that could get clogged up. Separating the voice networks can isolate them from issues that appear on data networks, such as in an irresponsive switch router. We have KOS, quality of service, is used with VoIP. KOS contains quality requirement for certain types of packet and services. In many situations, audio packets are given priority over data packets using KOS. So let's go through encryption. The encryption of VoIP traffic can occur at multiple places, including signaling or media layers. Because authentication occurs at the signaling layer and the audio packets are used at the media layer, encrypting VoIP traffic in two different segments is often required. Now, for example, excuse me. Protecting the signaling but not the audio leaves the actual communication unprotected. However, protecting the media and not the signaling layer leaves the authentication information unprotected. In all situations, the following items can be used to encrypt the VoIP network. We have IPsec, point-to-point IPsec gateways can be used to protect VoIP traffic over public or entrusted networks such as the internet. It should be noted that IPsec is often not used between endpoints because of the limited support for an IPsec client on VoIP clients. We have SRTP, Secure Real-Time Transport Protocol, can be used with Advanced Encryption Standard AES to protect the media layer during VoIP calls. Note: it should be noted that if SRTP is used in many cases, the key goes across the network in clear text on the session setup protocol SIP or H.323. Hence, it is important to also use SSL with the session setup protocol to leverage the full advantage of SRTP. SSL VoIP protocol can natively be wrapped with SSL SIPS or with S2NOL H.323 to protect signaling protocols. To summarize about what we get through just now, VoIP is an exciting emerging technology. While VoIP has been around for years, organizations and home users have only recently begun to adopt it. As with any new trend, the security impact on private and sensitive information needs to be addressed. The good news is that when done correctly, VoIP can be secure. However, similar to any technology that transports confidential information, security testing and evaluation needs to be performed to properly show the potential risk to an organization.